Hello guys and welcome back. So let's talk about another feature Python offers, which is the definition of functions. So let's go ahead and create a new line here. To define a function, all you have to do is type in def as define, and you give the function a name. For example, I want to plus two numbers together. I can just do this, and then we're plussing two numbers together. We can type in argument 1 and argument 2, and then column. And notice that when I hit enter, I got a automatic indentation for me. It means that whatever I type in here on this line will be part of the plus function, or the body of the plus function. And then we can then type in return and argument 1 plus argument 2. All right, so this is basically how you define a function. So for a function, you have three important signatures. One is the name of the function. Another one is this. This is basically a argument list. Okay, whatever argument it takes. And then the return type. Okay, what does it return? We were using a function before, which is print. You can see print takes one or multiple arguments, right? And it's just gonna print out that argument. It doesn't return anything though. But here this plus does take also, like, it does take two arguments and only take two arguments, and it's gonna return the two arguments added together, right? So I can say, okay, sum will be equals to that. So plus, we can call this function now after defining it, and then we can say plus, we can plus 1 and 2 together, and let's print out sum. Now if you run this now, sometimes it doesn't run. You just need to refresh this and restart this guy. Okay, and run this again, and you got 3, right? So you can see what it does is basically when we're calling sum equals plus 1 and 2, what it does basically is jump the code to this plus and replacing argument 1 by the number 1, or give argument 1 the value of 1 and give argument 2 the value of 2, and then it's going to add those two together and return back to here, and this evaluates to the return value you're getting. Okay, so again, it jumps to this particular function, runs through the body, and if there is an equal before it, it's going to return whatever the value calculated or evaluated after the return here. Okay, so what's going on is basically you're basically doing this sum equals to 1 plus 2, right? And so this is basically what a function is and how to declare and define it. All right, cool. So another thing I want to talk about with function is that you cannot do another function with the same name and same argument. Just try to make sure that the name is unique. Okay, you could do it here, like you can define another plus, and then it takes 3 arguments, and then you return argument 1 plus argument 2 plus argument 3, right? And then let's create another line. You can run this guy first. Okay, I forget that column here. Okay, so this is also defined. It has 3 arguments, right? And when we call it sum again equals to plus, it's a little confusing on which one we're calling because they're having the same name, but they have 3. This one takes 3 arguments and this one takes 2. So you could assume that if you do like 1 and 2, you're basically calling this one, but it's not going to allow you to do that. Okay, that's very different from other languages like C++. C++ allows you to do this. This is called function overloading. Okay, so if two functions has the same name but different arguments, it's fine, it's okay. But for Python, this will already override what's happening here. So this one is not accessible anymore, and this one becomes the only one that has the name plus. So you do have to say 1, 2, and 3. To do that, you're basically deleting this function. So if you create a function with the same name, it's deleting the previous function, and that's gonna give you a lot of trouble. All right, so avoid doing that. every time when you create a new function, just make sure that it does have a unique name. All right, that's the basics of function.